What up? It's your boy Mike Malarkey, aka King Moses, the Anointed One, live from the porch again, man. Trying to, spit some quick game real quick on the porch, man. I've been seeing some wild, troubling shit, man. Like, you know what really kills me? Like when I go on like Facebook and all this shit, Twitter, see these dumbass hypothetical, rhetorical memes that'll like say some random situation specifically against men, right? They'll be like, that'll try to make it seem like men ain't shit and they ain't doing shit or whatever. And it's mostly from bitter women or, like gypsies that want some attention and shit like that. You can see that, and then you'll have people debating on it on Twitter and Facebook and all this shit. And then the more dangerous part of it is that you have a lot of the pandering. First of all, I think it's all pandering in some form. Gypsies, specifically female gypsies, pander a lot. So they do a lot to get attention from the masses, and they will do it to pander to a certain group. So like women will pander to other women who have relationship problems or have issues finding a man to be committed to them or whatever the case may be. So like if a woman has like 3 baby daddies or whatever and she's just irritated with them for whatever reason, you might have a pandering gypsy bitch or whatever that'll be on Twitter, be like, yeah, let me try to get some attention and make some money towards the women that have 3 baby daddies that are having issues, and let me tell them what they want to hear so they can, gravitate to it for monetary reasons, just for attention. So you have those. So then you also have the gypsy bitches that will pander to men, or they think that they're pandering to men. So twerking, a real big pandering tool that is used, that you have a lot of these niggas, niggas like looking at ass or whatever and all that, but it comes to a point where it's like, all right, some niggas that aren't used to like seeing or getting ass like that are really like into it, and they'll be like, let me try to monetarily take advantage of those men that are really obsessed with and will do anything to look at twerking or whatever, or like will entertain flirting, online flirting or whatever with me so I can get some money or some attention. And now the attention equals money in some form or fashion. So that's why you have a lot of IG influencers and all this shit. Like, you even got these fucking gypsies that call themselves IG models and IG choreographers because you make a twerk video or you make a dance on TikTok, whatever the fuck, or you created this fucking challenge that everybody's doing or whatever. Do you think that you are more than what you are because there's an audience that is entertaining that? So, by the way, this whole video is about pandering and why it's dangerous and how we need to have some standards, right? So we get into the whole thing about what pandering is or whatever. So, you got your females that do the pandering, but the most dangerous ones and the ones that I'm more disappointed in is the men that pander. Like, women are going to do what they're going to do. I may disagree with it, but at the end of the day, I feel as men, we should be setting the standards on what is acceptable and what is not, what we're going to tolerate and what we're not going to tolerate. Women are going to do what they're going to do, and they're going to have to learn how to adjust through hard lessons. So like, if women decide like, oh yeah, I want to see a man in a dress, and this is what is the new trend that I want to start to get men to wear dresses, like, it's up to men to be like, that's not about to fly. I don't give a damn how big your ass is or how much coochie you say you're gonna give or how good it is. I'm not about to put on no dress for some coochie. I mean, that's basically it at the end of the day. But you have a lot of dudes that are weak-minded that will fall for that shit just for some coochie, some trim. So I think this the most dangerous thing out here right now is the pandering dudes. So like, you know, the Derek Jacksons, you know what I mean? He's the main one. Steve Harvey, the king of it right now. You know what I mean? Like the OG of it. It's dangerous, man. So now you see it's a lot of desperation in the air. So like it's guys that's not used to getting attention from women like that will see like, oh, this is working. A lot of women are gravitating to it. Let me ride this wave and let me try to do this shit. And that's why we have a lot of simp niggas out here and a lot of niggas that's tricking and thinking that this is cool. Like this is the popular thing to do. This is what is giving me power to get women. And they feel that this is something that's necessary for them to do to obtain a woman. And it's gotten so bad that now you have niggas that are arguing with other niggas about, well, if you don't do this, then you're a broke boy, you're a fuck nigga. Or like justifying tricking or doing all this stuff or whatever as something that like, if you're not doing it, then you're not a man, which is crazy. And I don't partake in any of that. And I mean, obviously I'm on a porch, I'm married, but even before when I was out in the streets, I never did none of that shit like that. And I mean, to each his own. Like, if you want to get women in a certain way, then that's fine. I'm going to have my opinion about it. But I think now it's gotten to the point now where you have niggas that are trying to coerce and convince other niggas like, look, man, in order for you to get a woman, you're going to have to do this. No. Like, if I'm going smack at a broad or whatever, you know, whatever, like, if it works for me, it works for me. I can't tell another man what's going to work for you because it might work for me just because I'm me. Some niggas can get away with certain things. Like, I can say certain things to a woman that this man can't say to a woman. But it's up to you to figure out what you need to do. Because like I said, growing up as a man, we don't have a playbook on how to get a woman or how to you know, obtain a woman and please her and do all this. We got to learn by experience. And the only way we learn is by dealing with women. So like, if I approach a woman this way and it's working, I know it's working. If it ain't working, then I would know, like, I'm getting rejected all the time. I'm not getting the response I want from women, so I know it's not working. I need to figure out how to adjust or whatever, or, you know, stand on my principles and be like, look, this is, for some reason, this is the way I'm going to do things. And if it don't work, then it just don't work. You know what I mean? I'm just going to have to hold out until I find the right person that it works for. So you got a lot of guys now that are just doing a lot of shit that they don't have to do. Hold on, this damn, you know, I'm by the Air Force Base or whatever. Planes be flying around Peach County. Hold up. That's how it is on the porch, man. So you got a lot of, I mean, you got a lot of dudes that like Derek Jackson. They'll be like, yeah, that man ain't shit. And, you know, and then they'll always phrase it and feed on to a lot of the negative shit that women will be saying, whether it's true or not, or exaggerated. And then be like, well, I'm not like that. And it's easy to pander because, you know, they'll tell you in the gist what they're looking for. Or you could just easily simply say, well, I'm the opposite. You could be like, oh yeah, well, all niggas cheat. I don't cheat. That's easy to do. You feel what I'm saying? And then it's just like, you know, as long as you make that sales pitch and sound convincing, bitches will believe it. And I just think that, like, dudes that are that desperate and they're like doing so much to try to prove themselves to somebody and convince people are pretty much full of shit. And if you fall for that, then that's just on your dumb ass. You feel me? But I just think that, like, it's dangerous for a lot of these dudes out here that's doing that or whatever. So, like, niggas really have to stand up and, like, you know, like, yeah, you know, they got Derek Jackson up out of here, whatever. He got exposed or whatever. But it's just like niggas like still gonna be doing this shit because it's like, all right, the next he's gone, but it's gonna be another nigga that do the same shit that Derek Jackson was doing, and bitches gonna flock to it. But when you niggas gonna realize that shit don't really work. Like that shit is not a good long term type of thing or whatever to be doing. You know what I mean? Like times have changed. Like times have changed, man. Like you can't be like, yeah, niggas ain't shit, but I'm different, and then do some wild shit or whatever. Like, you know what I mean? Fly a girl out or whatever, or you know, bring flowers and candy or whatever on a first date. Like that shit. A normal nigga do that shit. Girl gonna look at him like he's a fucking cornball. Like that nigga is a bad man. Like we all know this or whatever, man. Like if that was the case, there would be a lot of niggas doing that shit out here, man. That would be the normal standard, but obviously it's not. You feel what I'm saying? And eventually she gonna grow tired of that shit, and she gonna be like, all right, you know what I mean? Let me go on to the next nigga, whatever. You know what I mean? Well, I'm done with him. I'm gonna look at that dude that I can clearly walk over in low regard and use him up. You know what I mean? And niggas is just fucking up the game, putting yourself in position like that, man. So I mean, niggas have to really establish a set of standards, man. Like, it's a difference between standards and preferences. You can have your preference where you're like, all right, yeah, I want a bitch that's thick. I want a bitch that's slim, whatever. You feel what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, a standard needs to be set. So at the end of the day, you have to realize, would this woman still want to get with me if I wasn't providing something, or if I wasn't who I was? So if you got money, and you know that the broad is only with you because you got money, you gotta think, like, is it really worth it for me to be like spending money on her and building a relationship with this woman? Because if I lose it all, she ain't gonna want to be with me. And if a woman is like that, you gotta just take it like, all right, you got the power, you don't need to do that. You know what I mean? And then if it's a situation where you meet a broad that is genuinely in it for you, whatever, and all that, I mean, if you want to do something for her out, you know, just cause she's not expecting it, that's totally different. You know what I mean? That's how you build a real relationship, or know that, like, all right, this could turn into something. But if somebody's always demanding of you from you off the jump, what you gonna do for me? What do you got? Where do you work? Let me see how much money you make. Where are you taking me out at? You know what I mean? Like, that should just be a trigger in your mind, man. And put her in the box, man. Then you gotta flip it and be like, I know who I am or whatever, and I know what I could bring to the table. I know what I want. You're not getting all this extra shit or whatever. So if you fuck with me for me, this is what I'm providing for you, which should be some dick. You know what I mean? And that's it. And then if you want more than that, I can't help you. Take it or leave it. But niggas is falling for niggas so desperate because they ain't gamed up or whatever, that they will take shortcuts. Like, all right, it's nothing for me to take her out or whatever as long as I can get the pussy. You know what I mean? Now it's got to the point now it's so bad where niggas are so desperate and feeling like if they don't do this, they not gonna get no pussy, whatever. They out here marrying broads, marrying strippers, you feel what I'm saying? Just because they just want this woman so bad, and as soon as they get it, they gonna do whatever they doing anyway, gonna cheat or whatever. They ain't about to be, like, it's just crazy, man. Just too much fuck shit in the game, man. But niggas really have to put their foot down and be like, look, I'm not doing this stuff or whatever just for some pussy. You know what I mean? Now, relationships is different or whatever, but I think now it's to the point where you can't even tell the difference between somebody that's fucking and somebody that's in a relationship. Because somebody will just get in a relationship just to get some pussy, just to fuck. Ain't got no plans on, like, being seriously in a relationship with the person. And for all that, you could just stay single. But niggas is so desperate, and women are loving it for some reason, man. So you just gotta watch out for these pandering motherfuckers, man. Women and men. But specifically for the men, man. Like, y'all gotta stop that shit, man. And niggas gotta stop, like, gotta really separate themselves from even doing any type of thing that looks like some Derek Jackson shit or some fucking Steve Harvey shit. You know what I mean? Because as soon as you show some type of signs, women gonna be like, oh, I got one. I might be able to pull a move on them. Let me try. You know what I mean? So y'all ain't gotta do all that, man. You know what I mean? Stay true to yourself, man. Stay true to yourself. And if she ain't rocking with you as a person, she ain't for you, man. It ain't meant to be. There's plenty of other bitches out here. So, you know what I mean? Niggas gotta stop pandering specifically, man. Cut that shit out, man. It's unnecessary. It's not needed. It's fucking up the game. And it's gonna get worse and worse if you niggas keep falling for that shit, man. Y'all niggas have to sit back and realize, I really don't have to do this. Know your fucking worth. Look in the mirror and know your worth, man. Know your worth. Simple, plain as day. You know what I mean? I mean, there's some gray areas or whatever. So, I mean, if you want to do something nice for somebody, you really think like, oh yeah, this person deserves it or whatever. Hey, I ain't got no beef with that. You feel what I'm saying? But just know your worth, man. Like, know your worth. And anybody can get got. You can meet a broad that look like somebody that's really somebody, and it turned out to be somebody that ain't. Lesson learned. Do more due diligence. See more of the signs and the flags that's popping out. Ask questions before you go out on a date and spend money on them. You know what I mean? Put them through the test. Put them through the ring, because they testing you. They testing you. They doing the same shit, man, and niggas ain't realizing, because their main end goal at the end of the day is, oh, I just want to fuck. The niggas. I just want to fuck. Because I guarantee you, if it was about, oh yeah, building a relationship, and it would be more to it than, all right, let's just do this or whatever. You gonna go through, like, if you knew the end outcome is gonna be whatever, you would do a little bit more research and more due diligence. Or some of the niggas just don't care. They just like, whatever. Again, desperate. They'll do anything for the pussy. So, I mean, that's all I got to really say, man. Watch these pandering motherfuckers out here, man. Niggas got to stop the pandering or whatever. Weed these motherfuckers out. The real niggas got to stand up, put their foot down. You feel what I'm saying? And if the women like it so much, man, let them go with the simp niggas and wife them up. Because there's plenty of bitches out here that don't care for them niggas. Clear as day. Let them go with them niggas. I guarantee you, it's going to get to a point where they're going to get tired of them. And they're going to be like, well, I need to fuck with a real nigga. And then when they come back, you make them pay, man. You make them pay. You just be like, oh yeah, you think you about to build a relationship with me? Nah. We just fucking. That's it. And get on back to your simp nigga. Take it or leave it. And that's how it should be in the first. So, that's just the news from the porch, man. You know what I mean? Let me know what y'all think, man. Y'all probably think I'm crazy anyway. And I just hate gypsies, period. You feel what I'm saying? But I'm really holding the niggas accountable, man. Trying to shake the narrative, whatever, for these niggas that's looking at this shit now. Like, you don't have to do some of this shit that you're doing. Like, I can't tell a woman what the fuck to do, man. Can't tell a woman what the fuck to do. They can hear this shit and they be like, yeah, he's right, but I'm still gonna do whatever I do anyway. So I don't give a fuck. But this is for the niggas, man, because at the end of the day, niggas are the ones that initiate this shit, man. We are the ones that are on the hunt. You're the ones that are trying to obtain the woman. We initiate the shit. And we control the shit. So it's up to you to do what you're supposed to do the right way. So there's no one way to do it, no right way to do it, but there are right ways and there are wrong ways to do it. And a lot of these niggas out here now are doing it the wrong ways and not looking at the right ways. For some reason, they feel that they're scared, whether it's self-esteem issues. They feel that they can't get a woman if they don't take them out. They don't spend money on them. Don't click Instagram, like on their Instagram, or cash app them some money. Whatever the fuck, man. So, I'm signing out, man. It's your boy King Moses. I'm out, man.